This is no one from nowhere, and you are and I am a spirit of God. Today I want to talk to you about Sumerian Satan, demons, and vampires. First, a joke. How does Satan sell you a story? He gives you a demonstration.
First job is described in the myth A Man and his god as the biblical job, because every man in Sumerian had his own choice of his god, and went through his experiences with the law of polarity or the adversary known as Satan, and God because they coexist concurrently. Heaven and hell, that is. Job 6-8. One day the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. 7. The Lord said to Satan, "Where have you come from?" Satan answered the Lord, "From roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it." 8. Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him, he is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil." 9. Does Job fear God for nothing? Satan replied. What are some demons in Sumerian myths? In Sumerian myths, there are several demons that are described and depicted in various texts and artifacts. These demons are usually portrayed as malevolent creatures that bring harm and destruction to humans. Some examples of demons in Sumerian myth include Asag, Asaku, a demon that is associated with chaos and destruction. He was said to dwell in the mountains and was often depicted as a fierce monster with a lion's head and a serpent's body. He is a demon who attacks human beings, especially by means of head fevers. In the Sumerian poem Legale, the Asag is a monstrous demon who was defeated by the god Ninurta/Ningersu. The Asag was hideous in appearance and his power caused fish to boil alive in the rivers. He was born from the mating of ANUNNAKI, and the Asag himself mated with the Ker or Sumerian mountains. He was said to be accompanied by an army of the stones of the mountains. When Ninurta defeated the Asag, he expressed his unease with the inhabitants of the Mesopotamian plain and of the Zagros mountains. Lama/Lamashu, a demon that is associated with scorpions and other venomous creatures. He was considered a deadly enemy of humans, and was often depicted as a fierce creature with the head of a man, the body of a lion, and the tail of a scorpion. These types on cuneiform had a winged human-headed skull of a bull and a lion that guarded the gateways of Assyrian palaces and temples. Lamastu, she is considered a female demoness, and was considered as a daughter of An/Anu. She was above the common run of evil demons, and did have her own specific practice, or her own agenda, hence initiative, and did not have to work for the gods. Nomtar/Namteru, a demon of death and disease. He was said to bring plagues and illnesses to humans, and was often depicted as a figure with multiple heads and hands. Nomtar was also a minor god that acted as a minister to Ereshkigal, queen of the underworld. In one tradition, he was the offspring of Enlil and Ninlil. His Sumerian name Nomtar meant destiny or fate. Udug/Utaku, a class of demons that were considered to be evil spirits or ghosts. They were said to dwell in the underworld and were often associated with death and disease. This type of Utaku demon was Akkadian and was considered as a neutral and beneficial influence on beings. Gudea, ruler of Lagash, asks Onunna goddess for the protection of a good Udug to guide him. There is also malevolent evil Udugs, and in this case magical incantations would be used. 7 demons, this is the Akkadian word Sebitu meaning of the group of 7. The 7 is a name given to the group of demons, the offspring of ANUNNAKI who acted as the assistants to the god Nergal in the Sumerian era epic, which can be equated to Sodom and Gomorrah biblical story. The magical incantations used to identify the 7 named Udugs, sometimes called 7 and 7, or 7 times 7. Jesus may have said this, found in Matthew 18:21. Then came Peter to him, and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? 22. Jesus saith unto him, I say not unto thee, until 7 times, but, until 70 times 7. Also we see in the story of Cain that Enki had told Cain that he had to subdue his demons, found in Genesis 4:6-7. So the Lord Enki said to Cain, Why are you so resentful and crestfallen? If you do well, sin is a demon lurking at the door, his urge is toward you, yet you can be his master. This is the Sumerian demon called Croucher, and is the Akkadian term evil Rabisu, and is a type of evil spirit. It's worth noting that the concept of demons in Sumerian myths, as well as in other ancient cultures, is not the same as the devil or Satan in monotheistic religions, as they are not considered as a single entity, but rather a diverse group of supernatural beings with different characteristics and roles. What are Ikimu vampires? Ikimu is a term from Sumerian mythology, and it refers to a specific type of demon or ghost. An Ikimu is a restless dead, an undead, who is said to be the soul of someone who died a violent or untimely death, or who did not receive proper burial rites. They are considered to be malicious spirits that roam the earth, seeking to take revenge on the living or to gain a proper burial. Ikimu are often described as having a ghostly appearance, and they can cause harm to the living, such as causing sickness or nightmares. They are said to be able to possess the living, and can even cause death. They were often invoked in incantations and rituals to prevent them from causing harm. The Ikimu is not considered a vampire in the traditional sense, as it is not said to feed on blood, but rather on the life force or energy of the living. In Sumerian mythology, and in other ancient cultures, there are no figures that are known as vampires, as they are commonly understood in popular culture. The concept of a vampire as a supernatural creature that survives on the blood of the living, is a later development in folkloric and literary tradition. The biblical Esau may have been a prior candidate as being one of these because he never experienced a biblical death, and the Edomites were known as blood lickers. This is found in Genesis 25:30. He said to Jacob, Let me gulp down some of that red stuff, I'm starving. That is why he is called Edom. What god is known as Satan, devil in Sumerian myths? In Sumerian myths, there is no god that is known as Satan or the devil. Sumerian religion is polytheistic, and it has a pantheon of gods and goddesses who were believed to have controlled the natural world and human affairs. However, there are certain gods and goddesses in Sumerian myths that have been associated with negative traits or actions such as chaos, destruction, and trickery. The demon Pazuzu. What is the real saying of this king of the wind demons? Pazuzu, king of the evil wind demons. In the bilingual, Sumerian and Akkadian, version of the Compendia, he identifies himself. I am Pazuzu, son of Hanbu, king of the evil Lilu demons. I was enraged, in violent motion, against the strong mountains and ascended them. Another text also narrated by him describes Pazuzu encountering other Lilu demons in his travels, and breaking their wings, therefore preventing them from inflicting harm. I ascended a mighty mountain that shook, and the evil winds I encountered there were heading west. One by one I broke their wings. In another text he is perceived as more malicious, as the narrator addresses him as agony of mankind, suffering of mankind, disease of mankind, and chants telling the demon to not enter the home. Was he famous in film? He was the demon in the movie The Exorcist. What are your thoughts? Today I leave you with some more biblical proofs, because after all the Bible has it all: yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Revelation 11:6-7. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues, as often as they will. 7. And when they shall have finished their testimony, The beast that ascending out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them, and kill them. Prophecy against Edom. Ezekiel 5-6 Because you harbored an ancient hostility and delivered the Israelites over to the sword at the time of their calamity, the time their punishment reached its climax, 6 Therefore as surely as I live, declares the sovereign Lord, I will give you over to bloodshed and it will pursue you. Since you did not hate bloodshed, bloodshed will pursue you. Many may forget this, and many know that reed is mentioned 33 times and the meaning is red, and one is found in Revelation 21:15 and he that talked with me had a golden reed equals red to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof.
Always remember that you are and I am a spirit of God. Peace and love be with you all. What do you think? Thanks for watching.